Hey everyone, my name is Jamie and welcome back to Asagao Academy. I was so excited to be playing this if it wasn't already obvious to tell. But yeah, we just got done interacting with Satch in the library, and as Hana said, it couldn't have gone better, and I agree, because he stopped those guys from being mean to us. They were kind of really jerks. So, that couldn't have gone better. Not only was Satch impossibly kind, but being around him felt easy, refreshing. Like being doused in the mist of a waterfall. Oh gosh, what was I thinking? My cheeks hot. I left the library, two surprisingly heavy books under one arm. I settled into bed, eager to get started with my new reading material, but Mai was sitting at her desk, carving a pencil idly into the pages of a notebook. Every few minutes she released a long, drawn-out sigh as the lead of her pencil whined against the paper. I lowered my book and took the bait. Is something wrong, Mai? She let out another dreary sigh. I hope Jared notices me this year. Does Jared know you like him? Mai whirled around in faint shock.
What?
I don't like Jared. Oh. I closed my book and I set it aside, deciding to play along. Well, have you at least tried talking to him? No. I mean, I have before. Why don't you try again? She bobbed her head from side to side, considering this like I'd never crossed her mind before. Yeah, maybe I could do that. I should breathe slowly, because it's kind of hot new. Satisfied, I picked my book back up. Have you ever had a boyfriend, Hana?
What?
Huh? Me? No, never.
Really?
Really? Never? Never. I bet you 10,000 yen that you meet a totally cute boy here and fall in love by the end of the school year. You're crazy. I buried my face back in my book, barring Mai from any further discussion. Fall in love by the end of the year? Me? If I were a betting kind of girl, I'd take that bet. I woke the next morning with what felt like a lizard in my throat. Mai was already up, shuffling through her school bag with an enigmatic grin. I'm gonna have trouble with words, I already know. I'm gonna have trouble with words. The first day of school.
Hana!
Hana, you're finally awake! Her voice sliced through the air like a knife and I winced. She was definitely a morning person. It's time for the first day of school. Aren't you excited? I love first days of school sometimes. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. What do you mean? Is something special happening today? Something strange always happens on the first day of school, especially to someone like you. She winked.
What?
It's the best wink I can do. Someone like me?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean. I love her, uh-huh. She smiled and started messing with a pile of papers on her desk. Shaking my head, I got out of bed and pulled my uniform out of my closet. My palms sweat as I held the gold vest and blue jacket. Was it really possible for things to be different here than they were at home? What if the problem wasn't actually the school? I shook the thoughts out of my head and changed into my uniform. Oh! What is it?
Aww.
You look so cute!
Really?
Really? Heat crept up my neck. Ugh. I just don't like thinking about that. Yes, completely! Your hair matches your uniform so well. You look like a flower blooming straight out of the ground. Thank you. Water stung the back of my eyes and I turned to start packing my backpack. Why was I getting worked up about something as little as this? I must have gotten less sleep than I thought. Yeah. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. I'm just happy. How dumb was that? I started crying at the first sign of someone being nice to me. I took a deep breath to steady my nerves. What an oddly menacing thud. Oh, the air left my lungs as something like horse hooves slammed against my back. I just realized I didn't do a menacing enough laugh. Oops. Irk, is that the noise? You'll do just fine. Don't worry, this is going to be awesome. I love mine. I stiffly peered over my shoulder. That was you?
What?
Huh? Mai stood behind me, her hand raised. Somehow she had the strength of a bodybuilder. Nothing. I was just about to zip my bag up when I spotted the book Satch gave me lying on my nightstand. The Princess Betrothed. He had said that if I ever needed to be transported far away, somewhere far away, I could take it with me. It was pretty good so far. Maybe it would be smart to bring it along just in case I had no one to talk to in between class periods. Would I need it for my first day of class? Here we go! Next choice. So, like I said, I played this before. I played a couple routes before, and I always end up getting the bad end before I get the good end, and I'm still working on a couple of them. I can either take it or leave it behind, obviously, and every route I've done so far, I've taken it with me, and I kind of still want to take it with me, because so far, nothing bad has happened, I think, from taking it, but one day I do want to see what it... Should I leave it behind? I'm gonna leave it behind. No, today would be a great day. I couldn't give up before I even started. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Stick with me and you'll be fine. I've never left the book behind, so see what happens. Mai opened the door and together we stepped into the hallway, merging into a steady flow of chittering girls and fruit-flavored perfume. Oh my. I did not know we lived on the same floor. No way, really? That's so awesome. Now we'll be able to catch up. Whatever happened between you and... The river of girls shifted as we headed down the stairs. Suddenly I found myself surrounded by a bunch of people I didn't know. That's awful when that happens. Oh wow, what a jerk he turned out to be. Mai's exclamations faded into the buzz of voices in the air. Oh no. What would I do if we got separated? Anxiously, I searched the crowd of girls for Mai, but I couldn't find her. Everyone was dressed in the same Asagao uniform. It was difficult to tell anyone apart, and being so short really didn't help the situation. I feel you, Hana. I feel you. As we turned the last corner down the stairwell, I saw a flash of red hair a little ways in front of me. Mai? I reached between two girls and tapped her on the shoulder. Huh? Oh, who are you? The girl's eyes flashed, almost like a jolt of electricity shot through them. I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else. She said nothing and turned away. Before I knew it, I stood outside of Primrose House, watching the flow of girls disperse across campus. I can't do the thing with words that I need to be doing with words because words are important. Mai was nowhere to be seen. I couldn't even hear her chirpy voice. Oh man. I took a deep breath, biting my lip. This wasn't a big deal. I could go to class alone. But I didn't even know where the building was. I reached into my backpack and dragged out my class schedule. Homeroom. 206 Poppy Hall? Which one was Poppy Hall again? Weren't the classrooms on the other side of campus? I picked a direction and began to walk, trying to ignore my rising panic at the thought of arriving late the first day of class. As a third year where no one knew me, all of the people staring.
Hey!
Hey, you okay? You look a little lost. Someone called out to me and I turned around, almost jumping for joy. When I froze. A Normal Boots jacket. He was part of the Normal Boots Club. I could practically feel my tongue swelling in my mouth. If this was a Normal Boots Club member, I had to make a good impression. He was one of the founders, right? Then he must be... JonTron! Yes? I'm new. I don't know where Poppy Hall is. You a freshman? No problem. My class is in Poppy Hall. I'll walk you there.
Really?
Really? That would be wonderful. Thank you. Was this really happening? He began walking toward a large brick building in an enthusiastic manner, pumping his arms up and down like he was in some kind of show tune. I fell in a step beside him. I didn't notice it when Mai pointed him out to me yesterday, but JonTron had big brown eyes and a warm-looking face. He's really cool. He is basically a human puppy. I'm not just talking about in the game either, I'm talking about in real life. I glanced up at him out of the corner of my eye. Eep! A bird. A bird on his shoulder. Birds always made me uncomfortable. Something about the ease with which they could poke out somebody's eyes. Is something wrong? Why'd you stop? No, nothing's wrong. He followed my gaze to the bird on his shoulder.
Hey!
Oh, this is Jacques. Isn't he cute? Nice to meet you. I don't know what voice I'm doing, Jock. It spoke? Yeah. He put his hand to his shoulder. Jock jumped into his palm. Jock is a robot bird, see? Hello. Jock's eyes gleamed a dangerous red when he spoke, but nothing else suggested he wasn't a normal bird. In fact, if I hadn't known better, I would have said the red in his eyes was painted on. That's amazing. Jacques twitched his head to the side, examining me in return. The more he looked at me, the less afraid I was. What are you looking at?
What?
What? Nothing. I'm sorry? What? Nothing. I'm sorry. Just, however, just say that. Oh yeah, Jacques can be a little sassy. Who are you calling sassy? I'm not the sassy one. I don't forget to feed you. Jacques, that was one time. I was alone and starving in the frozen tundra of this empty world, loveless, afraid. Ignore him. I've been bringing him with me to the drama club and he's taken a little too well to it. I see how this is. Shut me out like I have nothing to add to this conversation. Jacques retook his place on John's shoulder, this time facing away from us as if miffed. We resumed our walk towards Poppy Hall. I'm JonTron, by the way. Call me John. Hannah, nice to meet you.
Hannah?
Hannah? That's a cute name. Oh, thank you. So, how long have you had Jacques? Since middle school. We've been together for 4 years now. Ain't that right? I'm not listening. Yeah, well, I love him to death. I don't know what I'd do without him. It seemed like life would be a lot easier without him, but who was I to say? We arrived at the brick building. A white sign surrounded by poppies declared it to be, unsurprisingly, Poppy Hall. Which room are you in? Room 206?
Really?
Seriously? Yes? That's my homeroom. We're in the same class. John laughed and clasped me on the shoulder. I think I'm seeing. Wonderful. I guess I'll be seeing more of you then, right?
Yeah.
Right. Together we entered Poppy Hall. This hair is getting on my nerves. Poppy Hall was lined with those kinds of lights and Asagao blue lockers. The lack of students milling around the hallway indicated we were a bit late. We ran up the stairs and made it into the classroom just as the bell rang. My heart caught in my throat. Thankfully, the teacher hadn't come yet. Instead, students clumped into tight pods and mulled around the classroom, catching up on vacation news.
John.
Thank you so much for showing me to class, John.
See you later.
No problem. I'll see you around. He waved and disappeared into the wriggling mass of students. I glanced around the room, looking for an empty seat.
Hannah.
Hannah! Ma peeled herself out from between a cuddling couple. Was that JonTron? Were you just talking to JonTron? Yeah. Ma's eyes widened and I couldn't help feeling a little smug. I realized I didn't know the way to class after you and I got separated, and he offered to walk me. Ma emitted a highly pressurized squeal. JonTron walked you to class? Oh my gosh, you have to tell me everything. She grabbed me by the waist. Oh, apparently I want Hannah and Mai to get together. She grabbed me by the wrist and pulled me to an empty desk in the back corner of the room, right next to the window. I saved you a seat. I slid in and took off my backpack, hooking it to the side of my desk. Whatever. I was a little bit worried the books inside were too heavy for the bag to handle, but so far it held up well. So if I had had, like, the Princess Betrothed book in there, it would have been more of a I'm worried that the bag's gonna fall kind of thing. So this is the first time I left it behind. Oh, watch me get in a situation where no one's around and I'm like, I should have bought the book. Sorry we got separated, by the way. It can get a little chaotic sometimes. So tell me, what happened? What did he say? What did he smell like? Does he have peach fuzz? Is it rough? Wait, what? These are very important questions I'm asking. You need to answer them. Was his hair super silky or did it have the roughness of a dog's coat? Before I can answer, the door to the front of the room slid open and a tall woman strolled in. The class went quiet and obediently slid into their seats. My heart beat furiously, blood rushing through my ears.
Class.
Good morning, class. The teacher's melodious voice swam through the room, calming the buzzing hive of students back from break. My shoulders relaxed and my fear ebbed away. I'm your teacher, Shizuka Wakahisa. You may call me Miss Shizuka. The emphasis she placed on the word led me to believe calling her Mrs. wasn't a mistake she would take lightly. Some of you might have noticed that we have a new student this semester. A hail of murmurs. Jamie, learn to read. A hail of murmurs passed through the class. Some people glanced at me. Nope, there was the fear again. Would you like to come up and introduce yourself? I nodded, stood, and slowly walked to the front of the room, counting my steps to make sure I wouldn't fall. I faced the class, took a deep breath to introduce myself. I would take a breath whenever they take a breath, and noticed a familiar face in the crowd. There was John, sitting with two other boys wearing Normal Boots Club jackets. One of the boys, the tallest one, was staring at me, the barest of frowns on his face. It's PBG. Yay! Something about him seemed really familiar. Wait, he was PBG, wasn't he? The other founder of the Normal Boots Club. Suddenly, all the strength left my knees. Me too, if I was in that situation. What should I do? Why was he frowning? Was it possible that I already made a bad impression on him? You had to be kidding me. If he didn't like me, what did that mean about everyone else? Wouldn't they follow his lead? I swallowed. The faces of the class began to congeal, forming one giant blob. That must suck. You moved from Amadirisu, right? I nodded and swallowed again. Then, like a beacon of light, I noticed Mai smiling and giving me a thumbs up. That's right. What would Mai do in this situation?
Yes,
I've just moved here.
My name is Hana Mizuno. I transferred from Amadirisu Public High School.
I forgot that she was gonna say it.
I'm really excited to be here. I hope you'll all take good care of me from now on.
She has such a cute voice. I bowed my head to the class and they clapped politely. When I looked up, PBG wasn't frowning, but he still seemed oddly confused. Maybe he always looked like that? Thank you. You may be seated. I returned to my seat, heaving a small sigh. The hardest part of the day was over. Shizuka began to talk about standard procedure for the semester, the rules for classes when homework was due, and that sort of thing. It was all very similar to my old school, and I spaced out in spite of myself. A brief flicker of movement caught my eye. PBG again. I glanced at him, and his head snapped back to the blackboard. What was his problem? Class continued on like that until finally the bell rang and it was time for lunch. My stretched arms over her head yawned. Man, I hate the first day of class. It's always so boring. Weren't you looking forward to it this morning? Something about exciting things happening? Well, yeah, but it already did. You met Jontron, didn't you? Now I've got nothing to look forward to. She sighed. And I was hoping to see Jared before class, too. She slouched and fell across the front of my desk. It seemed like this would be happening a lot. Is Jared really that hot? Mai's head snapped back up, her eyes flashing. What did you say? If you stare directly at him for too long, your nose will melt off. I've seen it happen.
What?
What? Anyways, let's head to lunch. I'm super hungry. Oh. I looked in my backpack. It held up well throughout class, but I worried that if I didn't take some of my stuff out now, I might do some permanent damage to it. I couldn't exactly afford a new backpack. I need to put something in my locker first. Or I need to put something. But if we don't go now, they'll run out of sesame seed buns. Oh. That's okay. I'll just go ahead. Come find me, okay? Alright. I was so lucky to have someone like her as my roommate. Quick as I could, I went to my locker and emptied out some of the textbooks I didn't need. I smiled to myself. My introduction went well. Good thing Mai was there to give me that little boost of confidence. Especially with PBG staring at me like that. PBG, I think he's really great. He's one of my favorite people to watch because he has a love for Zelda that is very akin to my own, which is a lot. So when I first discovered him, I think it was during Zelda month of last year, or right before that. And Zelda month's always every November. Fun fact coming at you. So I found his channel through some video, can't remember which, but it was a Zelda video. And then I looked and he had tons of Zelda videos. And he loved, like, Zelda. Like, if you see his office and stuff in his videos, like his room, he's got like Majora's Mask and Link dolls and this and that. It's just a lot of stuff, and it's really cool. So yeah, that's how I found PBG. Yeah, anyway. Maybe I could ask her what was up with him when I met her at the cafeteria? It might just be the way that he was. Cheered, I headed for the cafeteria. Okay, I was like, do I know where it is? I carry my melon bread through the minefield of people, searching for the now familiar side of Mai's red hair. Where is she? I couldn't see her anywhere, and there were almost no empty seats. All around me, students circled each other, laughing and joking, sharing bites of food and splitting the cost of sodas. Suddenly, I felt very obvious and very alone. Isn't there anywhere I can sit? Just then, I spotted a table at the front of the room. A lone boy sat at it, stabbing his spaghetti with the vigor of a Roman general. He was having a hard time with it. I moved closer to him, working up the courage to ask to sit with him. Well, no wonder. He was eating his spaghetti with a spoon. I'm actually really hungry right now. Wait a second. This guy was in my class, wasn't he? I saw him that morning at the front of the room. And he was wearing a jacket just like the Normal Boots Club, but different. A golden gray jacket with an 8-bit block on the front. Hidden block. That's some other really cool YouTube guys. He was a member of another club? Excuse me. Or maybe he was friends with them?
Hey!
Hey, what?
Hana!
Hana! Oh, my. Oh, my. Mai appeared between me and the boy, who glanced up at us before returning to his spaghetti. Thank goodness I found you. I saved a table for you in the back. Oh. I looked at the boy and then back at Mai. Come on. She grabbed my shoulder rather forcefully and pushed me to the back of the room. Hey, what's wrong?
Well...
You are so lucky I got here when I did. That kid is Brutal Moose. His real name's Ian. He's from the Hidden Block Club. The Hidden Block Club? Yeah, the rival club of Normal Boots. He's really weird. I mean... She looked around her to make sure no one was listening. But we were completely alone in our little corner of the cafeteria. He speaks in Comic Sans. Blasphemy. Whoa. Yeah, it'd be better to stay away from him. Especially since you've already gotten to know some of the Normal Boots guys. What are you talking about? I only just met John today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right. I saw the way PBG was staring at you. He totally likes you.
Really?
Really? Is that what you thought it was? Also, fun fact, PBG's wife, like in real life, his name's Austin. His wife, she was one of like the creators of this game, and I actually left a link, and I'm gonna leave a link in the description for you to go find the game if you want to download it, or you can find out more about the creators, the characters, etc. But she's really cool too. She, from my understanding, did like the sprite work, like the characters, like that's her art, which is amazing, and she's really awesome. So the fact to me, it's like her husband is in here as a playable, like you can date him kind of thing, is really funny to me. Okay. Either Maya was blind or she had a serious case of wishful thinking. Oh, totally. It was so cute. Just like my favorite manga. You meet in high school, fall in love, and then you go off to fight aliens together. What kind of manga are you reading? I don't think that's going to happen. Have some faith in yourself. This is totally what's happening. That's totally what's happening. So, now that you're in good with PBG, can you introduce me to Jared? Oh, was that what she was getting at? A hot flash of doubt seized me. Was it possible that Maya only liked me because she thought I knew the Normal Boots guys? That couldn't be the case, though. She was so nice. Still, looking at her shining and eager face, I couldn't talk myself out of the idea. I actually thought PBG didn't like me.
What?
What? Why would you think that?
Well...
He was glaring at me. Man, you just don't understand. It's a love triangle. A love triangle! Wait, a triangle how? A triangle now? I can see it. Stars practically erupted from her eyes. PBG, I can't! But Hana, I love you.
PBG.
But my maidenhood! Where are you going with this? I slammed my fork onto the table. Maya looked pleased with herself. Okay, I'm just kidding. You're really cute when you blush. You almost met your hair. That's not fair at all. I beg to differ.
Um,
Still, I searched my mind, eager to change the subject. That was an impressive scenario.
what?
What? No, it wasn't. I just made it up on the spot. Maya laughed nervously. Oh, so that girl was talking to me when we got separated? Maya told the story of her past friendship with this girl like they were eternal arch nemesis. Apparently, they had some bad blood. I nodded, choosing to take the time to relax. Before I knew it, we were finished eating. We got up and tossed our trays together. As I headed towards the door, though, Maya hesitated. Hey, I forgot something back at the dorm. Oh, need help? No, I'm totally okay. I'm just gonna go get it. I'll see you later, though, right?
See you later.
Okay, see you in class. I waved and I sprinted off in the direction of the dorms. Alone again, I crossed my arms and headed back to Poppy Hall. Large groups of 7 or 8 people were laying out in the sun, playing catch and eating lunch on the lawn. It looked like fun to have so many friends like that. I smiled. Maybe this new school really would be better than my last. Without students inside of it, Poppy Hall looked a bit like an abandoned hospital. My footsteps echoed as I climbed the stairs to the 4th floor. There was nothing to do. I didn't even have a book to read. Oh, here we go. This is my decision crap. I sighed. I should have brought it when I had the chance. No, it's fine. I stepped into the classroom and saw a flash of movement by the window. A boy sat on the windowsill and he jerked up when I came in. He was silhouetted by the afternoon sunshine, so I couldn't tell who he was. Hello. I'm sorry. Did I bother you? The boy stood and shook his head, then crossed to a desk on the opposite side of the room. As he passed, I was able to see him clearly. Another Normal Boots jacket? This guy. He was Shane from the Normal Boots Club. How on earth did this keep happening to me? Shane sat down at his desk. I fidgeted with his hands a little, then turned to look at me. You're the new girl? I nodded. My name is Hana. It's nice to meet you. He nodded. Shane. Silence filled the space between us. Panic built up inside me. This was my chance to get in with the Normal Boots Club, and I was blowing it. I sat down at my desk, fiddling with my hands. There was nothing for it. I had to try to make conversation. You, Shane looked at me, unsmiling. You're a part of the Normal Boots Club? Yes, I am. Why? He spoke as if it were a challenge, almost glaring at me. Oh, I just saw your jacket, so I trailed off. The jackets are really cool. Okay. I'm losing my voice. Yes, they are. Silence again. He seemed skeptical, as if he expected me to crawl out of my skin and reveal myself to be a large amphibious reptile. I had to do something. Who knew when another chance like this would come? But Shane didn't seem friendly. In fact, he seemed downright suspicious. Surely he wasn't on to me already? Maybe it was better not to risk it? I'm gonna try talking to Shane, because I like Shane. Shane's cool. So you play games then? Shane looked over at me. I've always been interested in video games, but I didn't get to play them much growing up. They're really expensive and my dad couldn't afford them, but I used to go over to my friend's house to play there. Shane didn't respond. Now what? I was out of stuff to say. What did you play?
What?
What? Oh, Mario Kart. We go into battle mode on the triple deck. We'd drive around by himself at the top level, and I tried the booby trap at the lowest level. There's a good spot next to the ramp. I'd wait there until my mom came racing down the ramp to find me and then smash her with a red shell. Shane's angry stare faded. He was smiling. Sort of. He made the whole room seem 10 shades brighter. Or maybe I was more relaxed. Your mom must have been mad. Oh, he was talking about his mom. Whoops. She was, but she always let me do it. Probably on purpose. Did your mom? A door slid open. Mimi and her friends, a couple of chattering girls, entered the classroom. They stopped and stared from me to Shane. It was clear that they thought they were interrupting something, even though we were sitting on opposite ends of the room. Sorry. No, it's fine. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy they caught me talking to Shane, of course, of the Normal Foods Club. The girls went to their desks and sat down. What were you? Shane was staring at me again, an odd, hurt look on his face. Why does he hurt? Like, should I have said no, go away? I don't understand. I have played Shane's route. I do understand. That just clicked. Oh, but you guys won't know because I'm not doing change route. But I highly recommend this game. Go through, play all the routes, try to do your very best because like there's routes for all the guys. There's 7 routes I think, and there's like 3 hidden routes, and there's a completion bonus, which I kind of want to get. Okay. I immediately felt like I was caught doing something I wasn't supposed to. Did he know what I was trying to do? But, I mean, it wasn't like I didn't want to talk to him. He was an interesting guy. It's not like I only talked to him because he was in the normal boots. He was in normal boots. But he turned, pulled out a notebook and some pens, and scribbled away, thoroughly ignoring me. The air was stuffy. I tugged at the collar of my own shirt, sweating. The girls kept looking over at me, their shoulders looking at me over their shoulders as if they expected something. I smiled hesitantly at them. Please get the words right. He smiled back, then started a conversation amongst themselves. The atmosphere was broken. I heaved a sigh of relief. What was up with these normal boots guys? John was really nice when I spoke with him, but PBG and Shane seemed to hate me. They were anything but normal. I waited for Mai to come to class, wanting desperately to tell her what happened. But when the bell rang, Miss Shizuka started teaching, Mai still hadn't come. I thought I had a hiccup. Class came and went, the bell rang, and I was alone. PBG stared at me for the entirety of the class period, his face growing more and more menacing by the minute. How his face wasn't stuck in permafrown, I would never know. Shane and John didn't bother talking to me as they left the classroom, and the other students paired up around me. Hey, Mimi, would you like to engage in a casual discourse this evening? Yeah, of course. But why are you talking like that? Kakusu is a little strange. We find out why kinda sorta later. I gathered up my things and headed to the dorm. With a sigh, I unlocked the door to my dorm room. As soon as the door opened, I heard... Hana!
What?
What? Mai and I lay in a heap on the floor. I'm so glad you're back. She wrapped her arms around my head and nuzzled me. Oh, they're so cute as friends. Yay. What are you doing? Come, look, look. She got off of me and helped me to my feet. Without Mai's face filling my vision, I saw that something had changed. Oh my goodness. The dorm room looked nothing like what it had before. The posters and fairy lights were still up, but now the window had a light pink curtains on it that cast a warm haze around the room. A brand new white carpet was on the floor, pillows were piled high in a mountain on the top bunk of the bunk bed. Even our chairs had been replaced with new cushy leather ones. What happened here? Sorry I didn't tell you, but I wanted to surprise you. I thought this would come in yesterday, but it was delayed by a day. I wanted to set it up to be a big surprise. I'm still not done yet, though. She gestured to some small potted plants arranged in neat rows on her desk. Want to help?
Yeah.
Do I ever? We finished setting the room up, switching a few objects here and there in order to better facilitate the feng shui, which Mai told me was excruciatingly important. She especially wanted to make sure our room was filled with reds and pinks and coupled items, though for what purpose I wasn't sure. We collapsed with heavy sighs on the floor, then heaved great big yawns. Bella! Bella! Hey! Come here! Let's say hi to the people. Get you comfortable. Here we go. We collapsed with heavy sighs on the floor, then heaved great big yawns. It's not even the end of the day yet, and I'm so tired. Me too. Wait! She shot up suddenly with a jolt. You want to give me a kiss? Is that what you want? Thank you. We should go get ice cream! We should get some ice cream.
Really?
Ice cream? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, something to celebrate being roommates. The ice cream here on campus is genuinely good, I promise.
I don't know.
I don't know. And I'm paying. Well, if that's the case, you made an offer I can't refuse. Sweet, let's go. You want me to put you down? Get in my lap. The school shop was in a side building off the cafeteria, packed with instant noodles and giant bottles of soda. Students wandered the aisles aimlessly, clearly here more to spend time than money. I paid the cashier and we grabbed our ice cream cones, mine the one covered in sprinkles. Whoa, this is delicious!
Yeah!
Isn't it? We're lucky to have such good food on campus. This place would be awful if we didn't. I nodded and was about to respond when I noticed a commotion outside. Ooh, let's see what's going on. I grabbed my arm and dragged me outside. There, 3 boys wearing normal boot jackets were shouting at each other, each of their faces turning purple. This again?
What?
What are you talking about?
Mamma mia!
I am clearly the one who possesses the proper masculine form. Yeah, right, I'm taller than you and more attractive to boot. Come on, guys. Can you not see these muscles? Nick pulled back the sleeve of his jacket and flexed his arm. Nick's on the right. Paul's in the middle, Josh on the left. These guys always go on about weird stuff like this. They're very... I didn't see that. I didn't see what that said. Whoops. Oh, yeah? Josh got into the downward-facing dog yoga pose and grinned. Oh, wow. Look at this butt. Just look at this. What I don't understand is why they don't just ask Jared. Oh, yeah? Paul kneeled low to the ground, then took off at a sprint, heading straight for us.
Yeah!
Check this out. He sprang into the air with a graceful ballerina's leap, spinning through the sky, and finally came straight for me. Ugh. When I opened my eyes, I was sprawled flat on the ground, covered in dirt. Something cold and wet oozed into the top of my blouse. Hana, are you okay? I sat up. Chunks of ice cream fell from my blouse to my skirt. What happened? You ran into someone, you idiot. My uniform. It's ruined. For a few seconds, silence, then snickers rippled around me like the whining of cicadas. My throat closed up, water stinging my eyes.
No!
No, not this again. Or not this, not again. I stood up, prepared to walk away with dignity when the entirety of the Normal Boots Club suddenly appeared in front of my face.
What's up?
What happened here? Seriously? Tears slid down my face. No, not here. I didn't want to cry in front of them.
Hey.
Hana, are you alright? Oh, PBT. I'm going home.
Hana.
Wait, Hana. It's fine. I just want to be alone for now. Took all my will to not run back to the dorm. I immediately changed into my pajamas and climbed into bed, all reaching for my stuffed rabbit. What am I going to do if this ends up just like last time? Mr. Bunny stared at me with his big, lifeless eyes. I squished him to my chest, losing myself in his soft fur. The door opened with a soft click.
Hana.
Hana, are you okay? I rolled over in bed and faced the wall, pretending to be asleep. Mai stood in the center of the room for a while, looking at me. Finally, she sat down at her desk and began to work on something. The sound of her pencil scratching against the paper stilled my mind. I don't know how many hours passed, but eventually I fell asleep. I woke up to my alarm beeping, feeling only dread of the hours to come. After the nightmare that was the ice cream incident yesterday, I never wanted to take something. I went too fast. I curled up inside my blankets, as my alarm went off. It was only the second day of school, and I felt the same as I did every morning at home. Mai, of course, was already up, and I could hear her hair straightener clap shut every few seconds from across the room. I felt bad about letting the alarm go off for so long, so I slid my hand out of the covers to switch it off. Hana? Hana, get up, sleepyhead. I know you're awake. I didn't even have time to poke my head out before Mai's body slammed into the edge of my mattress, bouncing me up. She jumped from almost halfway across the room.
Morning!
Ha, you can't hide from Mai. Sorry. I was breathless and I paused to calm my heart before speaking again. Are you worried about what happened yesterday? No one cares about it, Hana. I almost forgot about it myself. She must have seen my face. She brought an arm around my shoulders and pulled me closer to her. For real, though, we're gonna go to class and no one's even gonna mention that you made a huge fool of yourself yesterday. You could have put that better. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. It might have been a big scene, but it totally wasn't your fault. It was Paul, alright? When you jump, you have to calculate your trajectory, like I did just now. You could learn a lot from a master like me. Get dressed and cheer up. I could bottle up your gloom and sell it to a wizard. And what if you used it for evil? can't let that happen, Hana. Her smile was wide enough to bridge a gap between continents. The beginnings of tears pricked the back of my eyes, but this time they were for a different reason. I opened my closet and tried to avoid looking at the sad lump of clothing inside, slathered with dried up ice cream. I only had 2 uniforms, which cost my dad an entire month's salary. Oh my goodness. If I was able to get the stain out of the uniform, what would I do if I wasn't able to get the stain out of the uniform? Sighing, I took my second uniform off its hanger and slipped it on, as Maya waiting impatiently for me. Ready to go? I guess so.
Yeah!
Good. I'll probably stop the episode pretty soon, like after this next scene or whatever. Just as Maya said, no one paid any special attention to me. Well, there were a few odd looks here and there, but nothing nearly as bad as what I was expecting. As the lecture went on, my anxiety for the most part faded. I took to staring out the window to avoid eye contact. A few boys were out in the field playing soccer. Wait, was that PBG? I scooted closer, trying to get a better look. Hana. At the sound of my name, I leaped to attention. If there's something more interesting outside than samurai death battles, please feel free to enlighten us. You came here to learn, not to contemplate the scenery. Yes, Mr. Zuka, I'm sorry. She turned back to the chalkboard and continued her lecture as if nothing had happened. Samurai death battles in school? Like, wouldn't that be a cool thing to study? I think so. They study some pretty cool stuff here. And they have a club for, like, people that play video games. That's awesome. Anyway. A few desks in front of me, a guy sitting next to Brutal Moose turned around and gave me a flashy thumbs up. I made a face at him, unsure of what exactly he expected me to do. Then Ian turned around and socked him on the head. The other guy mumbled something to him, probably apologizing. I know I keep messing with my bangs, fringe, whatever, but it's just like, it gets to the point where I'm just like, I don't like how this looks, or I don't like how this feels like it looks, so I just like fool with it. Ian's eyes slid to me for a brief instant. Then he looked away. Were they looking at me because of what happened yesterday, or was there some other reason? I shook my head. There wasn't time for this. I had work to do if I wanted to keep my scholarship. After pages and pages of notes on Japanese history, it was nearly time for lunch. Okay, everyone is almost free to go. The work tonight isn't so hard, so don't grumble. You should work together to complete it if you have a hard time. Also, as you may be aware, the Flower Festival is coming up in a week and a half. This news was met with a few cheers as everyone started to pack up. Since you have the day of the festival off, our first exam will be the day before. There were no cheers this time. Romance is wonderful, believe me, I know, but try not to let the festival distract you, okay? That is all. See you tomorrow. Miss Shizuka flashed a peace sign and winked as she walked out the door. What a weird teacher. I like her. I think she's pretty cool. I'm kind of a teacher, guys. Sort of. I've been a teacher assistant for the past couple weeks. It's been my job. It's been fun. The lecture was so boring. Maya walked beside me, a tray in her hands. We were shuffling through the cafeteria trying to find a seat. Didn't you say that yesterday? Probably, but it's true for today, too. Hana, help me. Something about her boredom. We have an assignment to keep us busy, Mai.
What?
We already have work to do? How did you not hear that? Mai sighed dramatically, then leaned to the side and rested her head in the crook of my neck. I really should have had her head a few times, but she straightened before I could do it. I kind of shook Mai and Hana just a tiny bit. They're so cute. Oh God, Hana, Paul's walking over here. He's looking at you. Does he look angry to you? Why is he coming over here? Do you think he's gonna kick you again? The same Paul who humiliated me last night strode towards me. I instinctively backed away, but he kept coming closer.
Hey.
I'm glad I found you. He didn't look angry to me. In fact, he was giving me an odd lopsided smile. I don't know how to do that. I wanted to make sure you weren't hurt or anything. You ran off before I could properly apologize. I looked down at my feet. It was embarrassing enough that I ran off crying like a little girl, but to know that I made them feel bad was even worse. At the same time, the image of my ruined uniform popped into my mind. I couldn't tell whether I was more angry or embarrassed, or whether I was feeling something else entirely. Are we crushing on Paul now? I got you pretty bad, didn't I? I think I ballerinaed too hard. He tilted his head to the side. It's a shame you're not wearing the uniform from yesterday. I like the pink splotches on you. It matched your hair. A deep, sick feeling crawled up from my stomach to sit in my throat. My dumb, stupid hair. Everywhere I went, people made fun of it. I thought the normal boots guys were different, and he was trying to apologize. How could he say something like that to me? I had blue hair. Kind of, sort of. Yeah, I love dyeing hair. But her hair is like naturally pink. That's what her point is. Like, I can't change my hair. I didn't choose my hair to be pink. So, yeah. Now for the first time, I thought of dyeing it a different color, but quickly dismissed it. Paul was waiting for a response. Mai gave me a quick nod as if warning me not to mess this up. I mustered up my best smile, hoping it was at least somewhat convincing. It's okay. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'm more than happy to pay for the dry cleaning. Josh, Nick, and I feel really bad about everything. We've never made a girl cry before. Well, not by physically injuring her, I guess. Thank you, but I was just going to scrub it in the sink. Dad and I could never afford things like dry cleaners, so I was surprisingly good at hand washing things. That thing's going to need more than just hot water and soap, trust me. Tell you what, I have a friend who's a natural with that kind of stuff. I'll ask her to get the stain out for you. Just meet me later and bring your uniform, okay? I'll try not to kick you this time. Without giving me time to say yes or no, he nodded and turned to leave. He spun quickly. Shh! Hush! Come here, we have company, I know, but please be quiet. Don't make me pick you up again. He spun quickly back around. I flinched. Are you and, Mai, right? Do you guys have a table? The cafeteria is pretty full right now. You can sit with us, if you want, just for today. Yes, we'll go. Right, Hana? Lunch. With the Normal Boots Club. Maybe I really could become friends with them. And then no one will bother me again. Not about my hair, the ice cream incident. Bella, don't start barking. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Their voices started to go, so I gotta cut it soon. Alright, follow me, ladies. He led us to the middle of the cafeteria where the Normal Boots Club sat with a table all to itself. Hey, you found her! You're Hana, right? I nodded, blushing as I took a seat at the edge of the table next to Paul. Mai forced herself between Jared and PBG. Her eyes were only a few sparkles away from forming huge hearts. Real subtle. So, Hana, we saw that you were upset and we're all worried. Are you feeling better? PBG looked at me, clearly concerned. His face is so cute! Oh, I'm doing the smudgy face thing. You guys should have seen me when I was playing. I played PBG's route first, and I was doing all this kind of stuff when I first played it, and then I ended up getting a bad end, and I was so sad. My mom was like, I heard you sit there say, what? No, why? For about 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, that was what I did. But I played it again, and I got the best ending. But, yeah, like, you have to, like, your choices do matter a lot. If you make a bad choice, bad end. Or if you think you're making a good choice, but it's like, no, it's not a good choice, even though you think it's a good choice at the time, bad end. So, gotta be careful. Anyway, PBG. Hey. If I ever meet PBG, I kind of just want to talk to him about Zelda, because that would be really awesome. My heart was beating hard against my chest, but I wasn't sure whether it was because I was nervous, or because the sad look on his face made me want to give him a hug. Or maybe it was just because I was about 2 inches away from Paul and only an arm's length away from all the other guys. As I tried valiantly to open my mouth, whispers sped around the lunchroom. Look at those girls over there. Who do they think they are? How come they get to sit there? I wish Senpai would notice me. Ugh. Main characters get all the luck. Suddenly my thoughts turned dark. Could it be that by getting close to these guys, I was setting myself up as a target instead of getting protection? My thoughts spun in my head. I was suffocating. PBG was still looking at me, even more worried than before. Oh, his face. I'm fine. Thanks for your concern. Please don't feel bad. It was my fault for getting in their way. I'm sorry for causing such a scene. I should have controlled myself better. I hung my head. I wasn't sure how to act around these guys, so I defaulted to an extremely polite. My father would have been proud.
Hana.
Hey, Hana, don't apologize. It was Paul's fault. Right, Paulie? Nick shoved Paul. Jam? Okay. 1 second, guys. Okay, I am back. My mom called me out there because, like, we were having, like, air conditioning problems life stuff you guys could probably want to hear about. She's like, hey, come here. I was like, what? She's like, you need to see this dude who's coming to work on our air, and he was a nice gentleman. He was really interesting. He was cool. But yeah. Nick shoved Paul, who looked exasperated. I remember where I was. I apologized as best I could, Nick. Give me a break. It was a relief that PBG wasn't staring at me anymore. Almost no one else was paying me or my any attention. Shane, however, was still shooting me quick, suspicious glances. It was almost like he didn't want me there, and I felt uncomfortable.
Hey, Hana.
How do you like it here so far, Hana? Good, how about you? I mean, I like it here, thank you. Because she felt like he's been here all these years or whatever. Gerard smiled at me, then turned away and picked at my food. The guys were all wrapped up in their own conversations, and Mai was busy preventing hyperventilation from being so close to Jared. I can feel his body heat. Oh dear.
Hey.
You doing okay, Hana? A smiling Satch turned to me. I know it can be overwhelming. You're fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Thank you. I winced. Sorry, I can be a bit of a wallflower. No need to apologize. I've sure we're all been wallflowers before. But that reminds me, the flower festival. He turned to the group, addressing them all as if on cue. They all suddenly turned to pay him attention. I wish I had my glasses now so I could do the, glasses thing. Who are y'all taking this year? Right, the flower festival. Miss Shizuka mentioned it before. What is the flower festival? No one's explained it to me yet.
Well...
It's basically just a festival. Didn't you have those at your old school? That's not the voice I'm giving Gerard. I gotta figure that out. We did have festivals in my old school, but they were basically just 40 kids grouped in one room, sharing snacks they brought from home. Well, we had something kinda like them, but I stopped going.
Really?
Oh, why not? They're so fun. I didn't really want to answer. There was no way I could say, well, my friends turned on me, so when I went, people pretended I didn't exist. Been there. Way, way long ago, but been there. But Mai was waiting for an answer, and everyone was looking at me. I'm just... not into that stuff, I guess. Oh, well, maybe you'll like this one more. The flower festival happens all over Japan around this time of year, but it's a big deal in Higanbana. That's the town right next to Asagao. There's apparently some kind of myth about flowers that someone's important. Supposedly, the founder of Higanbana was an old man who got lost in the mountains and almost died of thirst. The flower spirit came to him and offered him help in return for his vow to protect her home. He agreed, and she drained herself of all her water so he could drink. The man founded Higanbana to watch over the meadow in which he met the flower. In some versions of the myth, the man and the flower spirit fell in love. It's a truly romantic festival. One may hope to find someone with which to make a vow of eternal love just as the man and the spirit did, and to live on to protect the one they love. Jared winked, and Mai swooned. So, during the day of the flower festival, there's a lot of stalls to set up, so you can go play games and eat food or go flower viewing. Then at night, there's a special meadow over by the temple where you can go watch the flowers, and then there's a bonfire and dancing. It's a lot of fun. We look forward to it every year. Asagao sells paper flowers in the little booth to raise money for the school too, so there's usually a big volunteer drive beforehand for people who are good at origami. Origami? I'm good at origami.
Really?
I like origami. Origami's fun. Really? Shane is too. Maybe you should work together. Shane gave me a tight-lipped smile. Somehow I didn't think that'd be happening.
Hey.
Hey, speaking of, I swear you rejected 10 girls last festival season. I mean, that's nothing compared to me, naturally, but there were so many girls with broken hearts. Even I couldn't mend them all. You smooth-talking person. You still hung up on your English girlfriend?
What?
Shane flinched, visibly taken aback, then he shrugged. I don't talk to her anymore. Oh, Shane, I just want you to be happy, that's all. He wiped away a fake tear. Shane grimaced. How great would it be if someone asked me? Maybe even if one of the normal boots guys did? Okay, I'm probably going to leave it here, and we'll get back to it after this. Things are heating up. Things are getting more interesting. Things are happening. I'm going to quit rambling now. Okay, so, but yeah, I'm really excited to be recording again. I actually, all day at work, I was like, I want to go, I want to go, I want to record. I love this game. this game is kind of ruining my life, but at the same time it's making it so much better because I keep like working and working and working to get the best routes possible and spending so much time on it. But I'm really excited that this exists. I really want to tell the creators how much I love it. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. I hope you had a fantastic week so far. I hope everything in your lives is going great because you're all wonderful, beautiful people. And I mean that with all the sincerity that I have. And thank you for watching. If you're watching, I hope you like it. If you like it, let me know. Comments, concerns, you just want to say hi. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this a lot. And I hope you guys are too. It means the world to me if anyone's watching, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, as always, I'll see you all later. Bye!